Hi folks, this is Johnny from Johnny's Journeys. Welcome. Tonight I'm doing something a little different. I'm doing a video we're going to call Who Knew? Okay folks, so I'm back. Number one on the Who Knew this evening is who knew that 14 days in quarantine was going to be this difficult? Horrible. Hated it. Awful. Anyway, it's been a really, it's a very lonely. The only interaction I really have is my mother, and a phone call every 5 minutes. So tonight is the end of my quarantine, and tomorrow I'm free, finally. I really would have loved to have gone camping during this time. Tomorrow will be Wednesday. I have class Thursday and school work during the day on Thursday. So I am not going to really go anywhere because by the time I get there, everything's full. It's Labor Day weekend and all that. So what I'm going to do is wait until afterwards. I have a call in with a New York State DEC, what do they call them? Ranger. And I guess you have to fill out a permit. And I don't know how long the permits last for, but you fill out the permit and then you call and reserve a space. There's a camp not too far, Peekamoose, and they have a trailer field. There are 6 spots in the trailer field, and he said they are full for the Labor Day weekend pretty much. I'm not sure what that means, but whatever. Anyway, so I'm still, my thought is afterwards. So I'm not sure, but I do know that you fill out this application and you get a permit and you call and make a reservation. You can stay up to 14 days until hunting season, and then during hunting season there didn't seem to be a limit. He didn't say, but he said you can stay longer. So I don't know how long that is during hunting season. Not that I hunt, but that doesn't mean I can't utilize the campgrounds during the winter, doing some winter camping. I'm really curious to see how long the permit lasts for. And it's free. The permit is free as far as I was told, as far as I can tell. But you have to, it's like your information and everything. So, who knew quarantine was going to be so horrible, number one? Who knew that you could stay, just like BLM land, 14 days, and then he didn't say anything about how long you have to be away to come back for another 14 days, but I'm excited about that idea of going there, and there's a stream that looks like it would be fun to kind of cool off in if it gets hot. It doesn't have any hookups at all. It doesn't have anything except for outhouses or something similar to that, as far as I can tell. And I thought I read dump station, but I could be wrong. And if that's the case, that there isn't one, I want to try boondocking, so let's give it a try. Why not? So, also, who knew that it was going to be almost as hot and sticky here in New York as it was in Florida. So it was like I didn't even go anywhere. It was so intensely hot here too. And now, it's like hot during the day and freezing cold at night. So that's kind of hard to get acclimated back to. Maxine is, pretty happy. She's feeling a lot better, so that's always a good thing. So who knew? Looks like I am going to have a yard sale on Labor Day weekend because I'm not going to be going camping. And we're doing a little redecorating here in the huge RV. And we also have plans to do skirting around the bottom of the RV and try to kind of, insulate it up a little bit. Where the slide out, this large slide out has that odd floor thing where it has like a little bit of a gap. It's supposed to be an overlap or whatever. Anyway, so I am going to get some brown duct tape and duct tape all around the edge of the seam where the slide out goes. It's hard to explain. I'll show you when I go to do it. Just kind of seal it up. I'm also going to get the foam rubbery pipe insulation, and I'm going to cut them in half, and I'm going to put them up the sides, around the top and down the other side of all the slides to kind of seal in a lot better, because there are gaps that cold air can just blow right in. The other thing is I'm going to try to see if I can get a 50 amp service installed outside here, because it's awful. If I want to use the microwave, I have to turn everything else off and then pray that it still doesn't trip the breaker, because it does most of the time. And then I have to go out and I reset the breaker, and on my way in it already goes off again. I don't know. It's like 3 or 4 times I'm back and forth into the breaker box in the garage. So that's a pain in the butt, and I don't want to have to deal with that anymore. I'd like to be able to use the microwave for a few minutes. So then number 3 is that Rosie is going to be dismantled solar-wise. I will be taking the solar off and out of Rosie. And I will be hopefully installing it in the yard here. Hopefully I'll build some kind of rack system that will, tilt back and forth. And I'll put it out towards the middle here, where there won't be anything blocking it, because I want to try to solarize the big RV, to hopefully get do a little bit better with the electric consumption, because it does use a lot of electric. Have the 2 panels that are up on Rosie, on the camper, and I have this suitcase set up, which is 130 watts, something like that. Anyway, so I'm going to be using that also. Not that I know enough about all this solar stuff. It's very confusing to me, so I'm going to have to get an inverter, because as far as I can tell, all I have is a converter that looks like an inverter, but it's not. It's a converter, I guess. Anyway, and then the crappy battery, it's a piece of crap. It was dead when I came home. Luckily, it's taking some charge and holding a little charge or whatever it is. Enough for everything to work. But if the electric goes out, then it dies after a few minutes. Only lasts for about 10-15 minutes. Depending, if most things are, if a couple things are on. Anyway, so the battery's pretty shot. Anyway, so we will remove that battery. Maybe put it into Rosie and sell Rosie. And then install the batteries from Rosie. There's 3 of them in there. So install those here in the battery bank. And, cold batteries are a no-no. And the bottom of that battery bank is mesh. And you see right through it. So I'm going to have to do something about that, I think. I do know that, it needs air exchange and gases? I don't know. AGM batteries, maybe they don't off-gas. I think it's only lead acid or whatever. Anyway, I'm really, like I said, not so great at the solar. So when it does come to the solar, I'm going to have to get a friend to help because I don't really know enough. Anyway, and I also have to get an inverter, so I'm going to need advice on that. So any of my friends out there that are big on solar, let me know because I'm going to need your help. So I will have to say, who knew I was going to feel so down in the dumps and lonely and yucky for 14 days. This was not, I didn't realize until halfway through my trip to Florida that this was probably going to be the result of going to Florida for the summer, that I would have to quarantine for 14 days. So I didn't really have all the information to make a good decision about going to Florida. If I probably would have gone anyway, so let's not even get into that. But I did experience some, feeling pretty mopey and down and not too excited and happy, which I usually am pretty, upbeat and happy. So who knew that it was going to affect me like that? But it's over. Tonight is it. I'm very excited. I can't wait. And so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna work on this RV so that I can stay in here all winter long, because I do not want to stay in my mom's house. At almost 55 years old, I am sorry, but I am not going to have someone telling me how to do everything, run my life, how to do laundry, how to do everything. I'm not going to sit there with Q-tips and clean out the washing machine every time I do a load. I'm not going to do it. I'm going down to the laundromat in town and pay $6 to do a triple load and have it all done at once in an hour and a half. Instead of it would take 3 hours here at least. And the whole time you're going to get a lecture on how to do it and what to do and what you don't do and what you shouldn't do. And I don't need all that. Don't need it. And she wants to do the whites. So I'll take the whites every Monday and drop them off. And she can do those. That'll be fine. Anyway. So I have to do skirting around the bottom of this RV. And that's going to be coming in a few weeks. I was thinking about doing reflectix on the windows and stuff, but I don't know if I want to be closed in that dark. I mean, this is a really big RV. It is like a condo in here, so it's cool. But what happens is the furnace is back there below the bathroom and the bedroom. That vent for the furnace, you can't even step on it if the heat's on, because you'll burn your foot. It's that hot. It gets so hot. So that room gets very hot, even though, it's probably leaky as hell, and the windows are probably leaky or whatever. It's still hot as hell back there. And then it's cold up here because this is the last vent on the on the system, and the vent before that vent is over by the door. So that's like probably 15, 18 feet, maybe 20, or that's a long distance. There's only 2 heating vents in this entire bottom area, in the entire back of the RV. And then there's 2, one in the bathroom and one in the bedroom. So the bathroom and the bedroom get nice, hot, and toasty because they're right there next to the furnace. But this one out here by the living room picture window doesn't hardly blow even warm air. It's barely warm because it's traveling and traveling so far. So I'm going to try to find the magnetic covers for over the heating vents and hope that helps. I don't know. Hopefully they'll be heat resistant because they might melt with that heat. Anyway, we're going to give it a try. Who knew that being in a big RV would work out so well that I want to kind of winterize enough to stay here. Yeah, it's a little bit overdone and a little bit like, fancy schmancy for me. A little more than I would normally like, but getting rid of this couch because I don't like it. It's not comfortable for me, and the cushions constantly slide out, and it's not big enough. I am going to get a day bed and put it in that. I have already ordered it. It's on its way. I'm doing a day bed. It's a chocolate brown day bed. It's going in the alcove of the big picture window there in the back of the RV. I'll still be able to see the television from it. And then I'll take those 2 chairs and put them here for now. I am getting rid of this table and 2 of the chairs. And I'm going to put my desk there. I have a desk with a big... I added a big, from like Lowe's, a big pre-cut tabletop to give me more space on it. So I'm going to put it right back here in the corner, looking out the window. And I think that should be really nice. And then, what else? Now I had to figure out another source of heat that doesn't draw on the electric, because I seem to be having, such a hard time with the electric. So I had to figure something out with that. I mean, I know that I could probably install a little gas heater with one of the one of the long gas hoses out to a tank. It would be nice to be able to connect them to the 100-gallon tanks. And then somehow do a splitter or something, and be able to add heat in this living room area because it gets kind of cold. So that's who knew, guys. Who knew all this stuff was going to be like this? Who knew 14 days was going to be so horrible? It's almost over. So it's over tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm off quarantine. And then the very next day, I have to go to work all day. Then I'm off on Friday, off Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, we're back to school. Or no, Tuesday. I'm sorry, we're off on Monday. So Tuesday, we're back to school. And then we are back to school, but we are alone for 2 weeks. And there's no students in the building, just staff. And then after that, because most of the districts here are not reopening until October, they're going to be remote until October. For some reason, our wonderful superintendent is trying to get cred by opening way earlier than everybody else for absolutely no reason, but that's okay. He can do whatever he wants. He wants to look good. he'll do another email telling us how he makes 2 paychecks. And, that's always nice to tell someone that makes $22,000 a year that you get 2 paychecks from the state. That's always nice to tell people that work for you how much you make. Well, he didn't tell us how much he makes, but getting 2 paychecks, I'm sure that's really good. Anyway, and maybe when school starts again, we'll go back to our daily updates about how many people died and how many people got the virus. That's what our superintendent did since we closed. We got an email every day telling us how many people died, how many people got the virus. I stopped reading after a while. He just sent one tonight, so I don't know what it says, but I don't really want to read it. Anyway, so we will be there for 2 weeks. But then now, parents have also the option to say, no, I don't want my child to go back. I want them to stay home and homeschool. Or, remote school. And I think that the young gentleman that I'm working with may be the case for him. His parents might have decided to do that. I know that they talked to me during the summer and had expressed that they may do that. And my teacher kind of said, I thought that they were doing that. And, so we'll see. I mean, I don't know. But I do miss him immensely. I mean, he's my buddy. I really miss him. Even if it's on remote, it's better than nothing. I do miss him. He's a great kid. He's so much fun. He's really interesting. And I do miss him. I miss him a lot. I didn't get the nursing job that would have taken me out of that school and put me in the school that's only 5 minutes down the road here as the school nurse, one-to-one school nurse. I didn't get it. The child's parents unenrolled him, and they decided not to send him to school. So he would have to come physically attend school for me to get the job. And I think maybe he's being remote schooled or whatever it is. They opted for remote. And I can't blame them. If my child had medical needs, I would be very nervous too. I mean, it's like the kid has medical needs enough that he needs an LPN with him all day. So that's a lot, I totally understand what's going on. My other issue is that's, a huge raise that I'm losing. I'm not going to get. So that's why I have to do all these things for this winter so that I can survive and be out here and not have to pay $1 million in propane. So we'll see what happens. Any suggestions, any comments, let me know below. Please subscribe, ring the bell, and thumbs up. Love you guys. Mwah.